might get quiet when this... Hello! Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. This is the official, I would say, official post episode 8 of MD Season 2 live stream. So, in case you guys are not in the know, I decided over a year ago at this point to create... Hi, thank you, welcome Sora. Welcome everybody to the live chat. If you're not watching this live, don't worry. Please consider subscribing while you're here and liking the video. The latest episode of MD Season 2 has just premiered. I decided over a year ago to do my own version of MD Season, or Murder Drone Season 2, what I would like to see for an MD Season 2. And we've just cleared episode 8, and everyone has just realized that episode 8 is not the end. Unlike in Season 1, which had 8 episodes, Season 2, my Season 2, I should say, will have at least 9. Possibly 10, but definitely 9. And I'm pretty confident at this point that episode 9 will be the final episode. Feel free to quote me on that in case I'm wrong. It seems like everybody who's in the chat right now enjoyed what they saw, and I appreciate that. I hope you guys did. It took quite a while to edit all of that together. And I just want to say before I get into anything here, because the point of this stream is to answer your guys' immediate questions as you have them. So before I do that, again, I cannot thank everyone who helped bring this project to life enough. Most of you are in the chat right now, and whether you did art, whether you're a voice actor, whether you're somebody who did an animation, you guys are amazing. You are absolutely amazing, and I cannot thank you enough for all the effort, all the time that you guys have put into it. I can't wait to see your own personal projects evolve, because a lot of them are working on their own stuff, their own versions of MD Season 2. I'm excited to see it all. So thank you to everybody who is attached to this project in any way. Please check the description on the episodes for MD Season 2. You will see a list of everyone who's involved. And seriously, give them a subscribe while you're there. But with that, I think it's time we get into your questions. So if you have a question about MD Season 2, about me, about the channel, whatever it is, I'll open it up. You guys can ask me any question you want, and I will do my best to answer it right now. I like doing these streams, by the way, in case anyone's wondering. So first question from Anonymous NX Uzi. So what was happening to Uzi? Like, she was super corrupted by Sin and that handgun? So basically what I was trying to convey, the thing with murder drones, before I answer the question directly, the thing I love most about it is Liam Vickers and Glitch, they don't outright say everything. There's not a lot of exposition. Things just kind of happen, and the audience can figure out why if they're paying close attention to. That's one of the things. Some people would call them plot holes, and there are plot holes, but my number one concern with MD Season 2 was to be as authentic as possible to Season 1. So along those same lines, it's not outright said in the episode what's happening to Uzi, but basically you're on par. She's been, if you will, possessed and overtaken by Sin. So the tumor that she saw, Sin was, playing with her food as usual, and manifested in Uzi's subconscious as a solver-shaped tumor, only to, in episode 8.2, actually become said tumor, because the Sin is a virus. She is an absolutely sick, demented virus that can manifest in anything attached to the Solver's abilities. And remember, Sin is just the body that the Solver itself took over. The Solver is an eldritch abomination from the deep, it's on par with Cthulhu. Doesn't abide by the same rules. Killing it doesn't get rid of it. It's a monster. It's a monstrous force, and Uzi is learning firsthand that the laws of nature as she understands them don't necessarily apply to it. And now, unfortunately, she finds herself in a position where, well, Sin, or the Solver, has completely overtaken her and mutated into a nasty, horrible thing I think I'm calling the Sin Beast at this point. But great question. Hey, welcome, JJ. Welcome. Prof, your hair is perfect enough already. Stop messing with your beautiful hair. It is not perfect. Thank you, though. You shouldn't lie, but I appreciate it. I can't wait for more to come. I also cannot wait for more to come. I need to send the next script out to all the artists and the voice actors, and that will happen very, very soon. So if you're part of the team, keep an eye out for that. Any other questions here? Is there any other... It's okay if you guys don't have questions. If you just want to chat, that's fine as well. But if anyone has any other questions about MD Season 2 or where we're at in the story, or if you want clarification, just let me know. Spirit asks, in your idea of murder drones, does Sin break/manipulate the laws of physics, or does she merely abuse them severely? I'd like to say it's a combination of both. You have to remember, in Season 1, the Solver's powers were shown to be able to just create life. Like when Uzi in the camp episode is first learning that she's got the Solver's powers, obviously. I mean, it just kind of, her powers glitch out and she makes a fleshy tentacle monster out of nothing, out of machines. Things that don't have organic tissue. There's no organic life in a machine. And somehow the Solver, again, through its borderline magic, the Solver can basically do whatever it wants as long as it's within the realm of what it wants. I hope that makes sense. It's not supposed to make perfect sense. Basically, the Solver is this borderline omnipotent eldritch force. Again, think Cthulhu. Think of dark beings that maybe could be considered gods. I wouldn't consider them gods, but they're... Oh, it's a little loud. Okay, I'll turn the music down. My apologies. My apologies. There we go. Not a little better? Hopefully that's a little better. But, yeah, Sin is absolutely horrifying. But, yeah, to where it only seems like she breaks them. I don't understand the full context of that. Edward and Alphonse. Okay, something about Full Metal Alchemist. Cool. Why did Sparky eat N like that? Because, as is shown in Season 1, Sentinels have what could be compared to cartoon space, if that makes sense, where a character, you see it in Looney Tunes a lot, where a character reaches behind them and, you know, without even realizing it, they pull something out of nowhere. It's like an infinity pocket or something. Deadpool uses it quite a bit. Sentinels are shown to have something similar. They have compartments within them where the space doesn't exactly match their size. So the idea that Sparky has a luxurious apartment within himself is more so a joke than anything like that, but it's pretty funny. Hey, what's up, Odd Monstrosity? That's so when Sparky eats N, he's basically like, hey, you know, talk to the other one and figure this out, as he's trying to get them away, because Sparky is coming in clutch throughout this entire season. But yeah, I'm glad you guys liked it. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Yeah. So Sparky is Kirby. Well, Sentinels in general, I don't want to say they're quite at Kirby's level, but it's the cartoon logic of, oh, I'm going to reach behind me and pull something out of nowhere because it's relevant for the joke or the plot. That's basically what Sentinels can do. We see Sparky in Season 1 pull a fire extinguisher out of a space that he definitely should not be able to store a fire extinguisher in, but it's along those same lines. Sin seems much more than a techno-virus. In fact, that means her nature and origin are a lot more mysterious and mystical than I thought. I agree. Again, you can't call something eldritch and then just expect it to be defeated after it's killed or consumed. If you understand, you know, if you understand, again, Cthulhu lore, it's pretty dark stuff. And it's a bit mind-bending, too. That's the whole thing. It's something that's so big and so vast and so powerful, you almost can't wrap your head around it. Will Armstrong try and combine with the Solver? Absolutely not. I don't want to give any spoilers for the coming episodes, but rest assured, Armstrong, as he says in episode 8.2, everything that has happened up until this point, faking the radio signals, mimicking the other main characters' voices, all of it was in cahoots with Sin, actually Tessa, to try and draw the core issue, their number one enemy, the thing that not only wiped out humanity, but killed Tessa and possessed her body in the first place. That was the Solver, that was Sin. Sin was the target all along. Getting everyone else there, well, that was just in an effort to, you know, draw the actual Solver out, because Tessa is a pretty smart girl, and she's more connected to the Solver now than we might realize. Let's see here. Next question. Mary Poppins bag. Oh, that's a good one. JJ Creates points as going back to the like cartoon space pulling something out of nowhere. Mary Poppins bag is a great example as well. Can Jay die? By the way, if I don't get to your question immediately, just keep putting it in the chat. I'll get to it, I promise. Can Jay die in episode 8.3? Do you want her to? Should I start a poll? I can start a poll if you guys want. Yeah, Eldritch lore is pretty, yeah, it's heavy stuff. Will Armstrong become a Megazord? No, but that does sound pretty awesome. I'm pretty sure Power Rangers already has that covered. Armstrong is a mastermind. Armstrong is half of the coin, so to speak. One side of it. The idea and what's been conveyed to this point, again, without just laying exposition on you guys, it's more so about what's happening as opposed to let's sit down and explain this for, hours upon hours. I hate that. Best example of that horrible thing, I would say, is the movie, what is it? It's Aquaman. Aquaman 2. Aquaman 2 has some of the worst exposition I've ever seen in anything ever. It's just characters standing around talking about the thing on screen. I wanted to avoid that completely. So that's the reason behind, that's why I do these live streams though. So I can sit and explain things if you guys need me to. Sent my entry just now. Ooh, good. I'll take a look at it. Yes, poll, but everyone vote no. Okay. She already died once. I don't want her to actually die. Yeah, that's true. But hey, let me just point out, Jay is pretty good about coming back after dying, or getting cloned, I should say. Hey, Orca Arts, just finished work. Well, drive safe. Don't be on your phone behind the wheel. Can you give Armstrong wings, like electricity wings? Because that would be cool with his electricity transfer. I do agree. That would be really, really cool until you remember that he's a T-Rex. And T-Rex already have pretty small arms. You put wings on top of it. Trust me, it's a little much. It's a little noisy. And Armstrong already has a pretty noisy design, and that's by design. But no pun intended. Yeah, Aquaman Part 2 is hot garbage. Thank you. I completely agree. What is the purpose of Nori's makeshift body? The purpose, James, good question, by the way, was to give her a drone body. Not that she necessarily needed it, but it was kind of a way for her and Khan and Uzi to sort of spend time together, if that makes sense. They had a similar goal. They could all work on something together, and, why keep Nori as a core? That's the thing. Why not make a new body? And plus, it's delightfully morbid in the sense that, you have to ask, where are they getting the body parts from? Where are they getting the body parts from? Who knows? But, I know, but I won't answer unless you guys ask me. But, yeah, the idea was that, we're going to, give Nori a new body, and, she'll be a normal drone again. We can all go back to having fun and whatever. And then, as we saw in 8.2, there's a narrative reason to have her go back to being a core. But, yeah, Armstrong having wings, Dragon Armstrong, imagine that. That'd be cool. Yeah, dragons are pretty cool. Perfect segue, really quick. If you haven't read it yet, American Nexus, the complete series, it's all about dragons. It's a dystopian, post-apocalyptic fantasy story where the main character goes to another world, becomes president, and let's just say there are dragons. There are dragons attacking the United States of America. Giant robots, monsters, mutations. It's all pretty darn cool. And it's a complete series in a single volume, 4 books in one. So check it out, link in the description. Anyway, Nori wasted all that hard work from her husband. She didn't need to save her life. I don't know. I think it makes sense. It was pretty split second. It's very, it's hard to convey when I'm doing the narration, but the idea is that, electricity is a machine's best friend and worst enemy. And Armstrong has been shown to basically have a giant EMP inside of him. So bad news for electronics, maybe not as bad news for a giant tumor monster like Sin, or the Sin Beast, as we're calling it. We could honestly say Sparky was MVP of the episode. I agree. I think that Sparky was the MVP this time around. Although special shout out to N for not falling for it. And that scene was really important for me because we saw N go up against a possessed Uzi in season 1 with Nori, no less. N has been through the ringer multiple times. He's not going to fall for that crap time and time again. He can see right through Sin at this point. He's very well experienced, and he knows Uzi. He knows Uzi very, very well. Even though I think I did a pretty good job of hiding it. Let me know. Did I do a good job of hiding it? Hiding that Sin was actually pretending to be Uzi in those couple scenes there before it's revealed? I mean, I thought it was pretty good there. And yeah, I really, really like that scene. I think N... shout out to Sunnyside, by the way, for doing a great job as N's voice, as always. And, of course, Elvanova for being Uzi. A possessed Uzi, as well as regular Uzi. The Corpse Spire. Yeah, Corpse Spire is gnarly. We could honestly say Sparky... Oh, I already read that. Will Sparky be the next Armstrong? I don't think so. Armstrong's a one of one. You're not going to see any other Sentinel T-Rexes in MD Season 2, as far as I'm concerned. It's a one-and-done sort of thing. He was a prototype. I am seriously considering, though, I have a question for you guys. Would you want to see, if I were to write this book, would you guys read it? I want to do, it has to be free of all of Glitch's copyrighted material, obviously, but I want to do a story detailing the animatronic background that Armstrong has, which is based on real life. Basically, look up what Disney did when they decided they wanted to make a full-sized animatronic Triceratops that would walk around their Disney parks. Real story, really crazy. Armstrong is based on that story, except instead of a Triceratops, he's a T-Rex. But yeah. Well, Armstrong with wings would be more like a wyvern. It's true, but he'd be a very misshapen wyvern. Because remember, T-Rexes are very, parallel, very horizontal. They're not... Generally, things that fly, they sit upright, almost vertical, and their wings come out to the side. Not always, but generally speaking, even with something like a bat, there's a little... It's not as, It's not the right shape, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying he couldn't become the right shape, but I did a good job of hiding it. Thank you, Steven. The Sin return caught me off guard, although it does make me wonder how Sin is back. We kind of already covered it, Sammy. Great question. But the idea is that Sin and the Solver, by extension, they're an eldritch abomination. Not far off from something like Cthulhu. The idea of an eldritch being is it doesn't play by the same rules as us. Even if you kill it, even if you eat it, even if you lock it away, it can still come back. It can come back to haunt you because it doesn't exist by the same rules that we do. So the question becomes, how do you defeat something like that? That is the question of the season. This episode is going to be awesome in the animated adaptation. I agree. I'm so excited. I'm so happy for American Spheres. And frankly, I hope he gets triple the amount of subscribers I do because just absolutely killing it all around. I am fully committed to supporting American Spheres in any way that I can to make sure that this project comes to life. You truly did amazing hiding this. I'm happy and smart not to fall for Sin's BS anymore. I agree. Thank you, Sora. Thank you for noticing, by the way. I was saying that Nori's body was made from bits and pieces of the Corpse Spire, or maybe even Doll's parents. Maybe. I will neither confirm nor deny. Oh, Sammy asks a great question. Would you make a Murder Drone Season 3? To be determined. Michael says that Eldritch Monster Sin created was awesome. Bet it had some tricks up its sleeves. Do you guys want to take a better look at it? So I actually did some of the art in this episode. I obviously drew Armstrong, one of the Armstrong side profiles that you see, but I also drew the Sin Beast and the image of Uzi falling through the water, and there's the giant eyeball on the ground here. Here, let me show you guys. I worked very, very hard on this art. I want to be even more involved in these episodes, and I hope... Oh, where is it? Let me pull it up here so you guys can see. Get a better look at it. That's the benefit of being a part of these live streams. You get better looks at the artwork. I want to do art showcases, if that makes sense, going forward. I think it'd be very, very cool. All right, let me make myself small. I want to show you guys. Oh, nope, not that one. I want to give you guys a better look at what we're dealing with here. Okay, so I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller over in the side here. Okay, there you go. You can see this is the Sin Beast. Pretty cool. Pretty fun. Yeah, I think that you want to draw Armstrong with fleshy wings. Be my guest. If you do that, JJ, I will repost it. I'm not even kidding. Off topic, can you do the thing so I don't miss it? What? Can you push the live stream on the 14th to 6 your time so I don't miss it? Am I doing a live stream on the 14th? I might be. I don't know. It's kind of an important day. Yeah, so this is my artwork right here, something that I did. I didn't want to color it in. I kind of want to leave a little bit up to interpretation here. I just did the outline, but this is pretty gross. So the inspiration for this comes from a few different things. There's moray eels, which are absolutely disgusting. There's the inside of a penguin's mouth, which is what I used for the mouth right here. This right here is based on a mole's nose, if you know what a mole rat looks like. Not a mole rat, but a mole. They're blind. They have like these tendril feelers on the end of their nose, and also inspired a little bit by Shin Godzilla. But hello, Kim. Welcome. Also, we have a squid bits and pieces here and there. This is based on an octopus. There are some octopus that have like almost human-looking teeth. You can also kind of see veins. These are supposed to be veins that mimic the arrows on Sin's body. We've also got nasty hoofs/toes over here. Random appendages growing out the sides here. If you guys can't see, it's supposed to be a messy tumor-like monster. Oh, these up here, by the way, inspired by a certain spider crab. And I don't know what inspired this. This was just kind of like, let's add random fingers and talons going in different directions. So yeah, a star-nosed mole. And then, of course, just random bits and bobs. Also, hi, Uzi. Hi, Uzi. How you doing down there? I'm sure she's fine. I'm sure she's just fine. Also included some of the security cameras there as a reference to like Eldritch J. And then, yeah, more random fingers and a little bit of a reference to I think it's Hal's Labyrinth, that movie. You know what I'm talking about. So this took quite a while to draw, I will say. I'm still learning how to do this digital art stuff, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. Especially the mouth. The mouth and this hand right here are probably my favorite parts. Again, Google the inside of a penguin's mouth. You'll see where this came from pretty quickly. But yeah, this is the head, arm, first leg right here. Second leg is wrapped around the nasty tail, and the tail starts on the back, wraps around over here, and it finishes right here. So yeah, this is the Sin Beast, and I had a lot of fun drawing it, and it is disgusting looking. It was a premiering video. Yeah, quite horrifying. But there you go. I did that. You're welcome to draw this if you want. Good freaking luck. If you that would be very impressive, I will say, if you somehow managed to draw this. But while I'm at it, I want to look at some of the other pieces of artwork that were done for this episode because, man, the artists just absolutely killed it. You guys knocked it out of the park. So let's pull up the episode 8 folder really quick, and I think we can just cycle through it here and show you guys what we're dealing with here. Really quick, going to check for questions. Absolutely, I will check after the stream. How will Season 2 end? It'll be spectacular. I guarantee you, it will be spectacular. That's all I'm going to say. Peter Armstrong is still living rent-free on my dresser. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good news, Orca. I'll be able to pay for it soon. I will. Let me know if you need it like PayPal or Venmo or something. Reminds me of, okay, I got to draw this. You don't have to, but yeah, okay. I wonder if Uzi being there is the power source for maybe getting her out would weaken the monster. That's a very, very, very good observation, maybe. But let's check out some of the artwork from MD Season 2 that maybe you guys only, due to the editing process, maybe you only caught a brief glimpse of it. So here we go. I'm going to put myself down here. So this was done by Ashley Is Lost, an incredible artist. And this is Khan and Nori about to go into the, into the sewer pipe to escape. Very, very excited seeing this take place because this will tie directly into the next episode. And then we have this image from AK Animations. I think it was in 8.1, because remember, episodes 8.1 and 8.2 were supposed to be one singular episode, but due to scheduling, I had to break it up, and I apologize for that. But Sora says, I hope Uzi will break out of this. I sense she will break free of willpower. Maybe. Is willpower enough for an eldritch monster? Maybe. Who knows? Yeah. Why is the source takes Uzi's appearance, though? I don't know. Maybe it's because Uzi's actually in there. Well done to AK Animations, though. I like the this detail over here. Also, Armstrong's head. The man is so big, he takes up so much space. He can barely fit in frame. This is also by Ashley. Here's, let me move out of the way so you can see the signature. So there you go. You got Khan and Nori sneaking through the vents, getting away from whatever tussle is about to take place. Because as much as Khan and Nori love their daughter, they also know their limits. Hey, what's up, MJs? Question from Sammy. Do you think Tessa will join the good side again and forgive Jay? That's an interesting question. I don't know if she even needs to forgive. Well, she does need to forgive Jay to a degree. There's clearly some bad blood there. And really quick, we'll get to it here in a minute. I do have some of their artwork that we'll talk about. Some of the artwork that shows Jay. Okay, this one. Really quick, as far as Jay goes, I don't think she's as devoted to Tessa as fan art would have you believe. But more on that in a moment. JJ asks, as this very interesting image is on screen, wait, so Prof, you gave me the prompt to draw Uzi in that Sin Monster thingy. Was that piece you showed going to be used instead? It was the concept. It was definitely the original inspiration. But when I sat down to draw it, because I wanted to do art for this episode as well, yeah, it kind of developed from there. You know how sometimes you'll have an idea and then you sit down to enact it and it just kind of goes in a different direction? That's why I tell people, when you're writing a book, when you're doing a story, don't treat your outline like it's gospel. Chances are, generally speaking, when you actually sit down to do something, it's not going to pan out the way you planned. For better or for worse, just let your creativity flourish. And speaking of creativity, oh, Cambro, man. Okay, he cannot be, if anyone is to blame for this, it's me, okay? I asked for this image. I described it along the lines of V as a chicken nugget, I think, something like that, which basically means you're missing your arms and your legs. Shout out to Planet Ripple by my boy. If you know what that book series is, that's where that comes from. But yeah, this is poor V. Cam felt uncomfortable. I think I can admit that. You felt pretty uncomfortable making this, but you did it anyway because you're a G, and I appreciate that. This is not Vor, okay? This is not Vor. I want to throw that out there. Yes, I know what that is. It's disgusting. I don't like it. But this is not that, okay? It is funny. Okay, yeah, Cam, I agree. This is kind of funny. But what's the context? Vix, you came in at the wrong time. I cannot think of a worse time for you to come in. Oh, chimp, no. Okay. Context. So in the last episode, V got wrecked. She lost her arms and her legs and her wings. Don't forget that. Those were ripped off as well because the Sentinels are a bit overpowered. Sparky, because Sparky loves V very much. V is, I wouldn't call her his owner. She's like family to Sparky, I would say. As much as family can be to a Sentinel. Anyway, Sparky saw she was in trouble, grabbed her, put her in the only safe place he knew of, which was in, again, cartoon storage space. When Deadpool reaches behind him and pulls something out of nowhere, I think it's called the Infinity Pocket or something like that. Sentinels have that. We see that in season 1. Sparky pulls a fire hydrant out of his throat, and it's just like, where did that even come from? He basically put V in there, and I realize this sounds really weird. It's a reference to season 1. V did not get Eldritch Dolled, okay? She got messed up. It's okay. As long as you don't destroy the core, disassembly drones are fine, okay? She will be fine. It's just really awkward and really painful. But yes, this is basically from N's perspective, because again, N gets kind of swallowed again. Yeah. Anyway, so this image was great. Thank you, Cambro, man. YT777. Yeah, you're a real trooper, because if you didn't draw this, I was going to have to draw this, and I did not want to have to draw that. So thank you for that. Speaking of drawings, this is from Drone Theory. I believe this is Armstrong squaring up with Jazz. This is again from 8.1. Great artwork as always. What's your excuse? That's what I say. What's your excuse? It's not good enough, is what I'm saying. But yeah, as long as their heart cores are intact, they won't die. Yeah, Sparky is Kirby. Okay, sure, we'll go with that. Thank you again, Drone Theory. Good artwork. Keep doing it. Nova in utter shock. I would be too. You came in at like very precise time. Okay, this is from Finley. Let's talk about Findrone's art. You guys know how much I love Findrone's artwork. And this is Uzi, heavy quotations. Uzi in heavy quotations saying, "Hi, N," because that's arguably, give me a more iconic line from Sin than "Hi, N." Like, there's an entire YouTube video that's just Sin saying "Hi, N" in all the different languages. Like, that is iconic. And this is the moment when N realizes that, oh, I was right. That's not Uzi. So, yeah, I cannot blame you. I cannot blame you, Vixenova. I cannot blame you. But this image, absolutely wonderful. I love the Sentinels in the background, especially this one right here. What is going on? There is not a thought between that dude's eyes right there. Also, the battle damage on Uzi's clothes, important detail. Absolutely love that. And thank you for giving N freckles. It looks like freckles. It's either freckles or sweat. I think it's adorable. N would absolutely have freckles. So this artwork, this is from Jay. Their username is just Jay. So I don't know for sure if this is their art. I never properly figured it out. Bad job, V. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Get Snuck Upon is iconic as well. Crisscross Applesauce is funny, but I mean, come on. Hi, N. Hi, N's the best one. Yeah, Eldritch Doll wouldn't bite me. What do you mean? Trust. Yeah, absolutely. But again, I am under the assumption at this point, I have no reason to think otherwise, that Jay did this artwork, so I included it in the episode a couple of times because it's phenomenal. This is super good. It's hand-drawn, and I believe it's hand-drawn. It looks hand-drawn, and absolutely love this artwork. Black and white drawings with subtle coloring, that is my jam right there. That's my kind of art. I have a fun idea. Cthulhu is the mastermind behind all the events. See, that would be fine, except I believe Cthulhu is a trademarked character. Could be totally wrong on that. Either way, I don't think Cthulhu himself fits into the Murder Drones mythos. It's same idea, but different characters. Good idea, though. If you want to make that story, go right ahead. Okay, another one from Findrome. This is Armstrong emerging from the darkness, and sometimes less is more. I've been told in the past that Armstrong looks like he has candy corn teeth. Like, that's what people visualize when they draw his teeth. Which, knock yourself out if that's the case. Knock yourself out. Let me in. That is another one, that I will admit. That's also iconic. But, okay, rad. Yeah, I'm not going to repeat that, but that is all. Guys, it's high end. Again, there are entire YouTube videos just about that line. Just saying. I've seen that art around before. I don't know who made it, though. Very fire. I agree. Again, I assume that the person that sent it to me, they said that they were the ones that drew it. If that is not the case, I will correct myself down the road. But until I find out for sure. Yeah. Question, do you think there's a secret villain out there that's way more powerful and way more evil than the Solver? Possibly. I don't know. Generally, one Eldritch being is enough, generally speaking. But yeah, Prof, can you please send the Sin Monster image? Oh, absolutely. In fact, here, I'll do it after the stream, okay? I'll do it after the stream. But yeah, I will do that. And yet I still feel nothing. That's V's line, though. That's not Sin's line. But yeah, Findrome. Oh, shoot. I love this. I'm so excited. You guys know what Jurassic Park 3 is? You remember the Spinosaurus versus T-Rex fight? It's going to be, episode 9 is going to be fire, okay? It's going to be absolute fire. So this image is phenomenal. I will say I don't entirely understand the like where this is. Are we looking between somebody's legs? I don't know. Just a random dude did this though. Hand drawn, absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I do think that, are you going to show the animations I did for it? I think they're in a separate folder. I can, though. I would not mind doing that. But yeah, this is great. Absolutely great image. You guys know how much I love hand-drawn artwork. It's poor Uzi. Uzi looks so done. Again, I'm not entirely sure what the angle is for this, because we've got like Armstrong up here, I think, or a Sentinel. I assume it's Armstrong because of the teeth. But I think these are N's legs. So interesting angle. I did not ask for that angle, by the way. I want to throw that out there. Yeah, it's pretty darn good. I'm very excited for episode 9. But this great artwork. Thank you, Just a Random Dude. Round of applause for Mare. Guys. Mare is my boy. Sorry. Mare is an incredible. Mare and American Spheres, both absolutely goated 3D modelers. And I mean, this is a 3D render right here. It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. And this is supposed to be Armstrong peeking through the blast doors. Very ominous, very spooky. And I will admit to you guys right now, I have used Mare's renders for MD Season 2 as the backgrounds for my PC. They are that freaking good. So, yeah. Okay, did I miss any questions in the chat? Does anybody have a question at this point about the previous episode, about MD Season 2? It could be anything at all at this point. But, okay, Blazelight. Also, hi, Blaze. Question, if Sin encountered Nori, Khan, and Thad back on Copper 9, then how did the three of them make it to the Extinction flagship unscathed? So it's implied, without being said directly, that Sin just took them along with her. So if you guys didn't catch it in the episode, so Sin, or the Solver, fully possesses Uzi's body, goes to the dock, or goes to the hangar where she knows the ship carrying Khan, Nori, Thad, and Lizzie, and all the stuff from episode 3 of MD Season 2. You guys remember all the cameras and the tendrils that attacked Lizzie and V when they were on their little exploration venture? That's remnants of the Solver, and it's all one being, just split out into different parts. Basically, all the stuff that was left on Copper 9 got in the ship, took her victims along with her, because again, Sin is manipulative and evil, and reunited with her new vessel. And together, the mass of disgusting flesh and metal turned into the Sin Beast. That's kind of the idea there. Again, not flat out said in the episode, but it's heavily implied. Yeah, Khan's railgun is pretty cool. What does Armstrong's monster form look like? Armstrong doesn't really have a monster form. He does have a form so he's made up of all those panels, those metal panels. They open, and that allows the electricity, as it's described in the episode, it boils out of him, the electricity. He's basically a giant walking EMP, because that's what Sentinels are. Sentinels' entire thing is to track down and kill rogue AI. And the best way to deal with a rogue machine is to fire a giant EMP blast. And that's essentially what Armstrong can do. Although, believe you me, we've only scratched the surface for what he's capable of. Nova, trust me, you're going to love Season 2. It's so good. I agree. I've only seen like episode 8 of Professor's whole thing. If you have the time, I would say put it on in the background. Listen to it, because it's basically like an audiobook with voice actors. Just throw it on. I know the first episode is hard to get through, but if you can make it through episode 1, everything else is amazing. Okay? Don't worry, we're working on it. Episode 1 is getting animated thanks to American Spheres, so it should be a lot easier to get through. But yeah, you gotta get to watch Nova on your own time and pace, of course. Absolutely. Sister location. Hey, come on. But yeah, this is really good. Mare, absolutely spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. Oh my gosh, Mai. Round of applause for Mai. Oh my gosh. Mai killed it. Mai is incredible, because Mai does, MAI by the way, does multiple images every single time. Never just does one, does multiple images like a comic book page. And I I want to eat this art, okay? I do not say that lightly. That is a compliment, by the way. It's not weird, okay? I promise. I want to eat this art. This is such amazing artwork. Absolutely fire. Like, this image especially. I know it's sideways. That's just how it was saved. But, like, Uzi waking up and her clothes are damaged and there's, like, all these dead sentinels. I would read this comic. If this was... I wish I had the ability to make art this good. It's so... I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. I'm trying. I am doing my darndest to be a better artist so I can bring you guys MD Season 2 in comic form. That would be a dream come true. But, yeah. Speaking of background, am I completely delusional or is Good Kid playing? Good Kid is playing in the background. Fun fact, Good Kid's music is copyright free. They've done that on purpose so that anyone, whether you're streaming, whether you're making videos, you can use their work without risk of having your videos taken down because Sony or Universal or whoever found like 2 seconds of audio from a video game that they don't, manage anymore in your video, and suddenly they can, take your entire channel down. That has happened before, or a variation of that. But yeah, I'm also excited to see that episode remake. But again, huge shout out to the motion, the backgrounds, like just the way that Uzi's hair is blowing out of her face there. You can see the gun. You can see N's look of suspicion right there. This is the nasty gun right there. I mean, the shading's incredible as well. Huge shout out to absolutely beautiful. I agree, MJ's absolutely beautiful. So yeah. Do a flip. You did a flip. You did a flip. I will check that out, MJ's. Mochi. Another round of applause for Mochi. Absolutely love Mochi's artwork. This is so cute. This is from 8.1. This is Sin in the pilot's chair. She's in the bridge of the JCJ Extinction. That's the name of the flagship, the JC Jensen Extinction. And good. I'm glad you made it home, Orca. True question. Will N finally get to properly stand up to J for everything that she did to him? Oh, you best believe it. But the question is N that petty? Do you think, is N the kind of character that would talk down and tear down J at this point? Maybe. Who knows? This artwork is so cute, though. I love how Sin's, we know it's Tessa, but Sin's hat, this is so good. I absolutely love it. It's very unfortunate that Sparky couldn't Vord Ned to save him. That is unfortunate. Rest in peace, King. You will be missed. You absolute jerk, Ned. You're an absolute jerk. I do want to say, can I boast for a moment? Can I be a little prideful? I will say, at this point, I don't know how to say this without sounding weird. I'm willing to kill my own OCs, so to speak. I don't consider Ned and Jazz and Armstrong to be my OCs. They're just characters that I created specifically for MD Season 2, and they're not supposed to take away from the main cast. But the fact that I'm willing to kill them off, where so many other... I'm not throwing shade by any means, but you have to be willing to kill characters. If you want to tell a compelling story, you have to be willing. You don't have to kill them. You have to be willing to part ways with them, okay? The second you're not willing to kill a character off, that's when you grant them plot armor, and nobody likes plot armor. So, again, just saying, like, the fact that I'm willing to kill my own characters, I hope it conveys to you guys, this is the point of what I'm saying. I hope it conveys to you guys that I am taking this project seriously, and I want to tell a compelling story. I want to tell a compelling story with characters that you guys remember, and where there are moments that stick with you after the episode ends. So that's what I'm getting at. Is there a possibility that Tessa will be living with the others at the bunker when everything's said and done? I mean, there's a possibility, Michael. That's a great question. There's always a possibility. But nothing is set in stone, at least from your guys' perspective. Yeah, no, I'm not going to kill off all my... They're not... Again, I don't consider Ned and Jazz and Armstrong to be OCs. All right? They're characters. They're characters that were created for MD Season 2 for very specific reasons. So, yeah. Question, you're not planning on killing every single character in the series off in episode? No, we are not going there. Okay, I will tell you guys this much. I'm not killing everybody off, all right? The ship is not going to explode and all the characters are going to die and then it's going to say the end. We're not doing that, okay? I know some series where they do that. Animorphs, looking at you. But, yeah. It's just... Yeah. Plot armor can be important, MJS, but... to a degree. You should never excuse a character from the consequences of their own actions, is what I'm getting at. And Ned made a choice, and that choice had a consequence. Was it a noble choice? It's up for you guys to decide. But great work by Mochi. I love this artwork, and it's fantastic. Oh, where's Odd Monstrosity? You were in the chat just a moment ago. Odd Monstrosity, this right here, I'm going to move out of the way, because I'm going to make myself invisible, actually. This right here, I consider this to be the unofficial banner for MD Season 2. I would make this my channel banner if I could. I'm not going to do that without Odd Monstrosity's permission because this is their artwork. You can see they got their watermark all over it. I asked them to do that, and I'm glad they did. You should always, always sign your artwork. We got the cast right here. We got the cast. Save for one, but you guys already know who that is. This is great. Absolutely, absolutely great. I absolutely love this. Animorphs? You don't know what Animorphs is? Oh my gosh, I'm old. I'm officially old. Can I retire? Can I just call it here? Do you guys not need episode 9? Can I just retire right here and now and just occasionally pop in? Or maybe make my triumphant return in a year or so when I need money. Can I just retire now? Am I that old? Oh man, Animorphs. Animorphs is a book series that was very hyped. If you went to Scholastic book fairs as a kid, at least in the early 2000s, Animorphs was everywhere. And that was the book series that I just fell in love with, and then it absolutely ended in the worst way possible. They clearly were just end the series already. So they did, and they completely biffed it. But yeah, this is incredible. Odd Monstrosity, I love this artwork. I absolutely love this artwork. Thank you for including these glasses. Very important. Also, love this. It's just so J, you know? Here we go, Step. I saw Step cheering in the live chat when this artwork came up, as Step should, because again, hand-drawn artwork. This is Nori exploding out of her body. A very clear reference to Aliens. But yeah, it's awesome. Am I getting... Ooh, Cam asks a really good question. Sir, are you getting burnout from murder drones? Because this project has been going for a year. I don't have burnout. I wish season 2 would last a lot longer. That is the best question I think I've gotten all night. No cap. That is the best question I've gotten all night. The answer is no. I will never get tired of MD Season 2. However, there's always been a plan. There's always been a story that we are going to follow no matter what, even if I can't post everything all at once. Because if it were up to me, I would just tell you guys the entire story right now, just because I'm so excited to tell it to you. But pacing is important, and real life gets in the way. Real life always, always, always comes first. That is my number one rule with all of this. So, no, I am not burned out whatsoever. If it were up to me, I would do all murder drones all the time. That is just... But yeah, this story, what makes me so excited to tell this story is because I'm a fan of murder drones too. And not murder drones too, murder drones as well. So I love it. I love murder drones. I love the characters, and I want to see this world and these characters explored even more. And yeah, no burnout here. Believe me, you would know if there was, but that's part of being, I dare call myself a professional indie author, if I can even call myself that. But it's kind of work, but it's a joy. It's a hobby. Telling stories like this, even if they take a long time, because the creative process, believe me, the creative process takes a while. It's worth it. Hey, what's up, Trey? Question, if Armstrong was a kaiju, what would he look like? Shin Godzilla. No, not Shin Godzilla. The Sin Beast would look like Shin Godzilla. If Armstrong was a kaiju, he would probably look like Kiryum, one of the Mechagodzillas. My favorite, by the way. Yeah. This question, this is a great piece by Step, though. Absolutely love that we have this, and I love how Nori is just like boom, exploding out of her makeshift body. Well done, Step. And this is the cutout version as well. When you finish MD Season 2, what MD fan project will you work on next? Can neither confirm nor deny. Everything depends on how the end of MD Season 2 is received. It really does. It depends on if you guys want more. Hello, Drone. If you guys want more, you have to make it known. Like, it has to be... I agree, Drone. Kiryum is the definitive Mechagodzilla. I would say is the most, I don't know if relatable is a good word, but it has the most character. Mechagodzilla is most often depicted as a big, ugly, scary monster, but Kiryum has a little bit more of a tragic backstory to it, and it's a little bit more of a personal connection to its human pilots. But yeah, very cool. Long live murder drones forever. I agree, and as has been said by the wonderful, the gentleman who's making Sin real, Templar, Knights Templar, I think is his username. He has said 2026 is going to be the year of Murder Drones fan projects, and I completely agree. So yeah, it's awesome. Can the meat exploded or something? Yeah, Nori's coming out. Because remember, at the time that this is happening, Armstrong is firing a bunch of electricity through the metal grounds and frying everything electronic. So I think Nori made the right call here. Speaking of Armstrong, this is an incredible piece by Tebow, the legend himself, the man who is a living gift to us all. We've got our cast down here. Jazz, Ned, Uzi, V, and N. We got all the Sentinels. One of them's behind a desk for some reason, because that's funny. Armstrong's up here, and we got Sparky down in front. It's a great image. I love this. I thought he would look like Destroya for some reason. Ooh, I don't know if he'd look like Destroya. Destroya's a little too maniacal, I think, for Armstrong. Armstrong is a little bit more crafty. But yeah. Really, really cool. Really, really cool. Kiryum has the most character. Mechagodzilla was typically a big machine piloted by others. Kiryum has the ghost of the original Godzilla that also characterizes him. I completely agree. Yeah, Armstrong has no love for Sin whatsoever. In fact, he absolutely hates her. Hates it, I should say. But this image is great. This is one of the grand reveals of Armstrong, at least to the main cast. Remember, this is the first time that these 6 characters are meeting Armstrong. We, the audience, we've been with Armstrong for a couple episodes now. We've heard his voice. Since episode 1, technically, but he's been there from the start for us, but this is the first time our main cast is actually seeing him. So this is the combination of the 2 plot lines that are meeting together. It's phenomenal. I love it. Yeah, let's take a look at the next one here. Oh my gosh, I love this one. This is phenomenal. I didn't put who drew this one, tragically. This is, let me make sure here. This is by, I want to make sure I get the name correct. Hold on. Let me pull up the name so I don't get it wrong. Hold on. This is embarrassing. Okay, come on. Where is it? Is it in fan art? Where is it? I have a big fan art folder. Thank you to everybody that does MD Season 2 fan art, by the way, or just fan art in general. I have a big folder saved on my PC that's just of fan art that you guys have done. And I plan on reviewing all of it once we reach the end of MD Season 2. So keep an eye out for that. Caden, that's who it was. It was by Caden. So Caden did this artwork on screen, and it is phenomenal. Like, it's a raptor from Jurassic Park, but as a sentinel, and it just looks so good. By the way, if you guys ask a question and I don't immediately answer it, just keep putting it in the chat until I answer it. I will get to it, I promise. Have you seen this indie animated series called Triangle vs. Monkey? No, I have not. I will take a look at it off stream. That sentinel looks sick. I agree. Was the Sin Beast inspired by the Mind Flayers? The Sin Beast was inspired by a couple of things. Mostly what I interpreted the most disgusting form of sin that I could think of. And to me, sin is a gross perversion of like flesh. So I took all the grossest things I could think of. I looked at inspiration from the animal kingdom and put it all together and wrapped it in a nice, disgusting, pus-filled sack of tumor. And that's what it is. It's a lot of fun. I have not seen your OC Luna. Not yet. I love the Sentinel design. I do too. Shout out to Caden. Done quite a few dinosaur pieces, Sentinel pieces actually, and they're great. Okay, this one's from Creator. You guys know Creator. Sin Beast, yeah, I don't have like one thing that inspired the Sin Beast design. I will say I didn't look at the Mind Flayer from Stranger Things. I looked at what was it? It was fungus. It's a kind of fungus that appears that travels across jungle floors, and it looks very gross and it pulses. It looks like veins crawling, and it's like orange and it's disgusting. That was like the main thing that inspired it. But yeah, very, very fun stuff. Yeah, techno-organic body horror. That's exactly what it is, Drone. Exactly. But this is by Creator. We've got Sin, actually Tessa, on the right, and Jay on the left here. Again, what's your excuse, guys? This is incredible artwork. I love the proportions. I love that you can see how bunched up Sin's clothes actually are. And I love how much hair that Sin Tessa has. It's supposed to be reminiscent of Tessa, but with her hair down. And I believe that Tessa had quite a bit of hair. It was just tied up. Remember, the only times we really see human Tessa are when she's dressed up for the gala. And that's when Sin takes her body. So we don't see what Tessa looks like casually, basically. But yeah, their interactions, it's reminiscent of how Jay actually felt towards Tessa. And I strongly believe, despite what fan art tells you, I don't think Jay was as loyal to Tessa as the fan art would make it out to be. You guys have seen what I'm talking about. The images where Jay is reminiscing about Tessa and crying over her lost creator, that never happened. I don't think Jay would ever even consider doing that, because Jay was loyal to her boss. Remember, think back to episode 5. I know it's difficult for some of us. Think back to episode 5 of MD Season 1. How does Jay react when her boss is chained up in her room? How does she react when her boss is injured? A look of pity, but she's not outraged. She doesn't actually care that much. She's worried that her boss won't be able to fulfill her responsibilities. I'm not saying that Jay was completely indifferent to Tessa. That is not what I'm saying. But I am saying that Jay is a corporate robot, a literal embodiment of the corporate system. And the corporate system is cutthroat. It's all about who's the boss and doing what they say as long as it makes money. What will get you the most money? We have every reason to believe that there was no protest. Jay was not outraged about Sin taking over. Sin just proved that she was the more capable leader. And what did Jay do? There was no rebellion. Jay fell right in line. Even going so far as to willingly call Sin, a character that she hated, had disdain for up until the gala. She calls her the boss. You're the boss now. What do you want me to do? Jay is scum. The corporate system is awful. I don't want to say Jay is basically evil. Jay is the embodiment of the corporate system. It's all about who has the most money and who has the most influence. It's cutthroat. And that is who Jay is grappling with. That is who Jay was. She had no reason to change. I never needed any of you, Jay says. And she didn't. She didn't. She achieved everything. Equity, partnerships. That's exactly right, Jess. Jay is that kind of character. Jay betrays whoever she needs to maintain her position. She doesn't think the brainwashed half-wit. Exactly. That's how Sin thinks of Jay. And Jay is only just now realizing that maybe living in pursuit, she's realizing something that I wish more people in real life would realize. Maybe the pursuit of profit and power is not the right way to go about life. Because in the end, despite having all this power and influence, Jay loses everything. Again. Her boss is defeated again. And the idiot, N, the barely competent one, V, they're the ones that are holding the last laugh. So that's one of the main plot points of MD Season 2. Jay is literally confronting her demons. So the question is, will this character, who up until this point has been just bent on following this corporate mentality, is this character actually capable of change? And if so, what would that change look like? Anyway, this soapbox it's breaking underneath my weight here. We're going to move on, but yeah, it's interesting. I think Jay has a lot of potential, and that's why okay, we're back again. All right, we're not going to spend any more time on this. Here's another image of J and N finally meeting again. This is the first time I think that they've met since episode 1, although they didn't talk in episode 1. J and V had a little bit of a square off, and then J lost because that's what she does. But N didn't actually talk to J. By that point, J was dying and floating away. So, yeah, what's crazy about that, too, is J even said in the finale she never needed N and V. As long as she's on the winning team is all that matters. That's exactly right, Michael. That is the essence of who J is. And the question is, after 8 episodes, is Jay still that character? Is somebody as twisted and devoted to something as messed up as the corporate mindset, the grind set, is someone like that capable of change? Because if she is, then Jay has the potential to be a downright hero, to live for something other than being on the winning side. So, who's to say? This is probably the first time they're interacting in a meaningful way. Yeah, I agree. So I cannot wait to show you guys their interaction, because you best believe there's some bad blood here. And both of them are not in a good headspace. But yeah, really, really cool. It's more sad when she said she didn't need N and V anymore. She ended up regretting it, and she paid the price of being alone. Yeah, and in the post-credits scene, what is she doing? She's fixing the spaceship so that she can turn and run away, because there's no more profits to be made on Copper 9. And that's where MD Season 2 starts. But yeah, great image here by, I think this is Hello Anyone There, Anyone Here is the artist for this one. But absolutely love it. There's 2 images. You can see one a little bit dimmer and one with a little bit more of a glow effect. I absolutely love this image. I think the proportions here are pretty fun too. This is one by Val. I love Val. Okay, Val, I'm not even kidding, is the fastest artist in the West. Okay? Val has a big iron on their hip, but instead of an iron, it's one of these. It's a digital drawing pen. Like, Val spits these out, or Heart of Lace, I don't know anymore. That's the official name. It's Val on Discord. But this artist turns these incredible images out in under 24 hours. I'm not even kidding. Like, I had to come up with things for Val to draw because they were doing so well so quickly. I don't know how they do it, because this is phenomenal. And this is arguably one of the cutest moments in the entire season so far. And it only lasts like a couple seconds. Jay is looking at the monitor, and Sin wants to get a good look. So where does she go? She goes right in between Jay's arms, and it's a very like cute little moment. But yeah, lots of fun there. I loved seeing this image, be revealed, and I loved seeing your guys' reactions to it on the last premiere. So well done. Here's another one from Val. This one is so important, and I'm so glad that Val depicted it. It's really spooky. Did you guys see the eyes down here? That wasn't there in MD Season 1. This is, again, a twisted version, a perversion, if you will, of the episode 1 or episode 5, Season 1 mansion, where Sin is sitting on the ceiling, because what is gravity in the mindscape, so to speak? Sin and Uzi are bound together at this point because, Uzi won. She got lucky, but she won. She consumed Sin's core, and Sin is a part of her. We have seen that all through MD Season 2 and in some of the stuff that Glitch themselves have put out since then. But yeah, I'd say Ultron, since Ultron is an antivirus, but I can see the Solver winning. I don't know what the context... Sorry, Steven, I'm coming into your comment at the last second, but an incredible artwork, I agree. That art piece was clearly made to appeal to the shippers, which I don't mind. I can neither confirm nor deny that. I just thought it was a cute moment. But is... Okay, this is a question from B-Bear. Is both the real Sin and Tessa in the same body after being taken care of by the Solver? Or is the new drone having the memories of Sin and Tessa while the real one are dead? Okay, great question. So again, we're dealing with an eldritch monster here. The idea is that Sin, or the Solver, they're the same being, it's not as simple as we might have thought. Yes, Uzi killed her or defeated her in Season 1, but it's an eldritch being, doesn't live by the same laws as we do. Death is not the end for an eldritch abomination. It's more like an idea, and ideas are difficult to kill, Mr. Creedy. Anyway, the idea is that Sin had a backup, just in case, because Sin is not as dumb as, again, the fan art would have you believe. She's manipulative, she's evil, and she very, very much so wants to win. On the off chance that her body, where she possessed Tessa, and the Sin body mixed them into one, which is a precursor to the Sin Beast, I might add. Everything in MD Season 2, by the way, ties into Season 1. Every single interaction, everything ties into it. So the idea is that Sin, she fragmented, basically. She had a clone lined up. She had a few clones lined up, just in the off chance, because, I mean, really, think about this for a second. Think about how Sin views Jay with complete dismissal. Do you really think that Sin would go so far as to clone Jay and not take advantage of the technology herself? She would at least have one clone lined up on the off chance that she's actually defeated. Slim though the chances may be, as we all know, she was defeated. So her clone activated. But it's not like cloning Jay. Jay is a regular disassembly drone that's been messed with by Sin, obviously, but NV, Jay, like all of them, it's implied that all of them have been cloned multiple times. Sin is familiar with the technology, but Sin is an eldritch being possessing a robot. It's not the same. You can't just copy and paste that kind of code. And as has been shown, whenever someone merges with the Solver, so to speak, whether it's Uzi or whether it's Tessa, there's remnants left behind. There's the Solver latches on to things. And so Sin herself describes Tessa as the drone Tessa that we've been following the entire season. Sin describes Tessa as an anomaly. Not something that she was planning on having happen, but Tessa is clearly torn herself. On the one hand, she's got Tessa's memories. She remembers being murdered, which is pretty brutal, but she's also got Sin's goals, whether she fully acknowledges it or not. And but she's more Tessa than Sin, and that's going to be a big part of episode 9 as well. Tessa realizing I can either commit to the bit and become Sin, or I can, embrace who I really am and go with that. So, and remember, Tessa and Armstrong are very closely linked. Their plot lines overlap very heavily. So, yeah, more on that soon. But yeah, I love this art piece by Val. Did I miss any questions in the chat? Did I miss any questions? I love how the events of this episode are bringing V's worst fear to life, losing N in the form of Ned. True. She has a second chance to rectify that mistake by reconciling with the original N. This is also true. Again, everything was very carefully planned, so there's nothing that just kind of happens in this series. So an eldritch consciousness that body hops between cloned bodies. That was the idea, but when it comes to clones, it's just a perfect copy of the thing that you've cloned. But again, eldritch beings don't live by the same laws of nature as you and I, so when Sin died, she didn't actually die. She just merged with Uzi. Ironically, MD Season 2 conveys this, I think, pretty well. It would have turned out better if Uzi hadn't eaten Sin, but more on that soon. Unless Uzi and everyone finds the clone Sin made, she can be destroyed. Clones are not superior to the original. This is true. And as far as we know, there's only one clone of Sin, and that clone is Tessa. So the main cast has a very interesting predicament that they're about to come up to. Do they kill Tessa again? Or do they run with the hope that maybe Tessa going with her for now is going to be a good idea? But again, no spoilers. We're going to go into that more in depth in episode 9. But shouldn't Sin be in Tessa's body? What body? The body's gone, man. It melted. The only thing that was left were her bones, and those sunk all the way to the bottom. Question, do you think Ned is similar to Shadow? No, I think Shadow's a cooler character than Ned. Ned is a reflection of what N could have been. Just like Jazz is a reflection of what J could have been. So the real question everyone should be asking is J going to interact with Jazz? Because, there would be some heavy questions at that point. But great artwork by Val here. This is another one by Val. I love this artwork. This is Armstrong. And going in for the kill here. Oh, this is the Sin Beast, by the way. Val's interpretation of the Sin Beast. And this artwork is phenomenal. I love how big the eyes are. That's something I've noticed with you guys. When you do artwork of Armstrong, don't worry, Trey. There's an entire playlist. I recommend you put it on in the background and listen to it like an audiobook. At least for the first episode. Because that first episode, I did kind of give up on the editing there. But it's great. Absolutely great. Can neither confirm nor deny, Steven. We're in a reversal of the question Tessa posed to N. You have to choose between the universe or the consciousness of a dead girl. This is true. This is true. Again, it's almost like I planned all of this. Again, not to pat myself on the back or anything, but I keep telling you guys I am competent. I'm not going to say I'm a good writer, but I am at least competent as an indie author, okay? And if you guys like MD Season 2, there's a lot more where that came from. Check out American Nexus. It's a complete series, 4 books in 1, link in the description. I believe you can read the first 7 chapters for free. So yeah, this is an incredible image though. I love how you guys whenever you depict Armstrong, his eyes are always different sizes. Even though the original image, they're all pretty consistent. I love it. I love interpretations of the characters, by the way. I don't want to say there is a definitive, yes, this is what this character looks like, because I love seeing your guys' interpretations of Ned, of Jazz, of the Sin Beast, and especially of Armstrong. So yeah, absolutely love it. But great work, Val. Huge shout out to you. You did an amazing job with all these. Oh, is that it? Okay, let's look at the animations real quick, because Cam did some incredible. I do have the full. Oh, you do? Oh, Drone. Tell me what you thought. Has anyone here read MD? Not MD. Has anyone here read American Nexus? I would love to know if you have. And if you have, if you're willing, I would love if you did a little written review on Amazon. It really does mean a lot to me. I'm asking for selfish reasons. I want to hear your genuine thoughts. 1 out of 5 stars, 2 out of 5 stars, 3, whatever you want to do. I would love to hear your guys' opinions on my book. But it was a labor of love. It wasn't supposed to be. It was not originally a labor of love, but it became a labor of love. All right, let me pull up the animations real quick, because there's one. It's one video. It's a couple animations here. So let me pause the music really quick. I apologize. I'm pausing the music. And let me pull up this animation so that we can look at it. Because Cam did an incredible job, as he always does. And I really want to show you guys this again. It's okay, MJess. If you can't afford to get the book right now, I recommend getting the ebook version, because it's like $7. So just read it digitally. It's cheaper. And again, it's 4 books in 1. I could have very easily tried to charge you guys for each individual volume, but that was never the point. It's never about the money. It's about the story. So anyway, let me get off this soapbox again. I am abusing the heck out of this soapbox. All right, let me show you guys Cam Broman's incredible animations. That is the playlist. That's not what we want. Okay, let me correct myself here. again, good kid music, absolutely wonderful. Here we go. Let me move myself out of the way here. All right, let's check out these awesome animations. And I'm going to shut up for most of them here. So, yeah. Ooh. Thanks. Oh, man. Oh. Nom. And there you have it. Can we get a round of applause, please? Oh, my soundboard. I don't have my soundboard up. Hold on. I need to get my soundboard. You deserve a round of applause, Cam Broman, for that. That was absolutely incredible. Where is my soundboard? Hold on. Oh, excuse me. I gotta find it. It's here somewhere. Where is it? Here we go. All right, let's pull up the soundboard. This is for you, Cam. Well done on that animation. That is not the sound I wanted. Hold on. I know the right one. Okay, round of applause for Cam. That's not it either. Okay, is it this one? Nope, we already did that one. This one. There. Okay, close enough. Thank you, Cam. You did an amazing job as always. Love seeing your stuff here, but yeah, that's all that I had to work with, by the way, for MD Season 2, Episode 8.2. But, yeah, whoever made this gets $10. There you go. The soundboard. Are you doing that on purpose? I'm not. It's in Russian. I don't speak Russian. Like, I don't know what this says. 3 BYK circle with a line through it, OTOANNAPATA. Is this? I don't have my headphones on, so I don't know what that is either. Technical difficulties. I don't know. It just... Either way, what the fart sounds? There's fart sounds? Which one's the fart sound? Is it this one? Is that the fart sound? No, surely not. I don't have my headphones aren't on. Maybe I should put my headphones on. Hold on. What was I playing for you guys? Oh, I should turn the volume up too. Give me a second. What is this? What is this one? Okay, what is this one? Oh, that's a fart. Okay. Wow, I am embarrassed. I am very embarrassed. Wait, what were the other ones? Oh. Ow, sorry. Sorry about that. That was loud. What was this one? Okay, that wasn't so bad. I'm going to stop playing with the soundboard now. I'm sorry. I did not steal Doll's soundboard. It's in Russian, okay? I'm sure there's an English one out there. I just can't be bothered. So, either way, yeah, that was a Vine boom. Of course it was. There's always a Vine boom. Wait, okay, one more. What was this one? It was just a camera. Okay, is that what 3 BYK circle with a line OTOANNAPATA means? Is that camera? Camera flash? Okay, anyway. Question, have you thought about turning American Nexus into an indie animated series? You know, I have. That is a very excellent question. And I'm going to be totally honest with you guys right now. Totally honest. I did pitch it to Glitch, or I made a video as if I was pitching it to Glitch. But at this point, you know, Glitch is they got a lot of stuff going on. I think if I want American Nexus to become a fully animated show, which I do at this point, I'm just going to have to do it myself. So keep an eye out for that. Maybe not a musical. Maybe. I've thought about it, JJ. I genuinely thought about it. I think it might be a little much for now. Because remember, the Odyssey came out before Epic. Or The Epic. Is it Epic or The Epic? I think it's The Epic, right? Yeah. American Nexus will be an animated show at some point. And Cam has offered. Cam has offered to help animate it. I don't want to put all of it on one person's shoulders. I mean, if I was going to do that, it would be on my shoulders. But that's part of the reason why I've taken up digital art. That's part of the reason why I'm doing MD Season 2. MD Season 2 is walking so that hopefully American Nexus can run. I know Glitch only reaches out to people. They do. So I'm not waiting around for anybody else. I will do it myself. That is everything about me. If you had to sum me up in one thing, I will do it myself. Okay. But yeah. Oh, yep. Okay. Vixenova over here. I'm making my own indie series. If you need advice, I do. I always will. So thank you. I appreciate that. American Nexus, a White House musical with dragons. Honestly, kind of. It kind of is a little bit more violent than that, but Epic the Musical. Okay, yeah. But remember, Epic the Musical came out after the Odyssey. But even so, I wish you the best of luck. I do. I will say American Nexus is not my dream project, but I'm kind of saving my dream project for down the road when I'm a little bit more capable. Even so, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot doing MD Season 2, a lot doing American Nexus. And I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot more as time goes by. But with that, thank you. I appreciate that. I do have the book series. Like, the story's already written, so it's just adapting that into animated form, which is a little bit harder than you might think. But I should make my own indie studio and hire you guys for it. Shoot, dude, I wish. Absolutely. Who knows? Maybe if we clear the 100,000 subscriber mark, which I'm very hopeful that we will do. Subscribers are coming out of nowhere. I think it's due in large part to the OC stuff, which more on that very, very soon, believe you me. But yeah, it's American Nexus, the animated series, is going to happen at some point. That's the number one thing I've heard from people who have read the book series. This should be animated. So I hear you guys at some point. I have finished it. And I will say, I don't know if I can pick a favorite. I'm being genuine. I don't know if I can pick a favorite song. It is, if you haven't listened to Epic the Musical, highly encourage it. I am a huge Greek mythology nerd, Roman mythology as well, Egyptian mythology too. Mythology in general is my cup of tea. So that's where I draw a lot of inspiration. But yeah, I know a simple animation software. You know what? I will be honest. I've always wanted to learn how to animate myself. So I mean, if I could work in tangent with other people, that would be incredible. But yeah, if the YouTube channel becomes profitable out of nowhere and just starts making money, like, you best believe I'm opening my own studio, 100%. It's not going to be big, but yeah, we're going to at least do stuff. All right, 3 more questions, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up the live. Question 1 from Sammy. What are your thoughts on Helva Boss and Hazbin Hotel, and do you think the hate is warranted? Okay, I've talked about this a little bit, and my thoughts are along the lines... We're just going to move on. Next question. Not sure if it was explained already, but what is Armstrong's goal? Is he planning on doing something more evil than just killing the cast? I don't want to spoil anything, but as we understand things right now by the conclusion of episode 8, Armstrong's goal all along was to get Sin, or the Solver, the thing that murdered humanity, right in front of him so that he could personally deal with it. That's the reason behind everything he's done, luring the main cast and potentially other drones. We haven't seen any yet, but luring as anything and everything that is sentient AI to the ship. The ship is a giant kill zone, and Armstrong is its brain. Tessa's the brain. Armstrong is the teeth. He's the enforcer, and he has been encouraging Tessa, yeah, your plan is great. We should absolutely kill the Solver and all the rogue AI that you arguably helped bring into the world. But you know what, Sin/Tessa, you're the closest thing I have left to humanity. I'm going to help you with this. And that's what Armstrong's been doing. His entire goal was to get Sin on his ship in the kill zone because that's where he's most powerful. He's prepared well for her arrival, no matter what form she takes, or so he thinks. And their clash is going to be of titanic proportions. But yeah, it's pretty good. pretty good stuff. And the third and final question here, I'm going to pick one. Let's see. Go for it, Cam. Go for it, Cam. Zeus, you dare defy me. Very fun. I don't know much about 3D. It's probably the same principle. I think it is, Vixa. And honestly, I would want to learn how to do 2D as opposed to 3D, because I've done 2D before with, I've done rotoscoping, stuff for a basic animation class, and it was fun, but I want to do more of that. Okay, last question. Also from Sammy. Sammy is just carrying the torch here for questions. Is American Nexus popular? I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't call it popular by any means. I want to say a handful of people have read it, but honestly, I sold at least one copy, and that was my goal. Honestly, my goal wasn't even to sell a copy, it was to write the book. Everything that I do is in pursuit of getting to the point. I want to be completely self-sufficient as a creative. I want to be able to write my own stories, draw them, animate them if possible, voice act them, and upload them. Upload them to social media, because social media has proven to be a place where I can share my ideas. Gone are the days where I would have to go and walk around the disgusting feces-covered streets of LA and New York, begging for an interview or a chance to pitch an idea to some snobby aristocrats in Hollywood land or whatever. Gone are the days where I have to go to somebody else to bring my ideas to life. That's the beautiful thing about social media. If I have an idea, I can just make it real. And that's what we're doing with MD Season 2, and you guys are helping bring that to life. So thank you. Thank you 100%. And go check out Vixanova's channel while you're at it. Eldritch Doll, absolutely incredible character and amazing artwork. In fact, go to the credits. Go to the credits of the latest episode and start checking out everybody's channels, because there's some incredible artwork. There's some incredible voice acting out there. Huge shout out to Elvanova and Sunnyside, Cam, obviously, Loud Void, MJess, everybody who's helped, Blaze. You guys are all incredible. Mr. Goofy, you guys are all incredible. I wish I could sit here and name everyone, but I don't remember everyone off the top of my head. You guys are all incredible, though. Thank you so much for being a part of this stream. Here's a random sound effect to send you guys out. All right? Have a good night, everybody.